Good evening, everyone. Yes. How are you all? Right. Thanks for coming on a Sunday. And that is me saying, because I usually reserve my Sunday for all my lazy activities. All right. Anyways, now in this open session, if you look at the board, I have thought for some time, and only then I have given a name for this session. The name of this session is Rewriting the Script. Ethics and essay for the thinking candidate. No templates, just tools to think. The reason why I wanted to go with this heading is quite simple. If you look at this year, and to be very honest with you, it's not just this year, the last couple of years, there is a small change in how UPSC is looking into your ethics as well as essay paper. You have seen with this rank holders, particular set of rank holders, some of them have scored very well in ethics, while some not so good. Some of them have scored well in their essay papers, while some, not some, most of them have not. Am I right? If you look at rank number 1 herself, she has scored very good in ethics. I think it was something around 140, I guess. But when you look at her essay marks, it is around 100. And I came across one more rank holder who had scored 157 in his essay paper, which is absolutely magnificent. But at the same time, in his ethics paper, he had scored as less as 85. Understanding my point? So there is a small change that is happening in how UPSC is approaching ethics and essay paper. Understand my point? So as per this change, we also need to rethink our strategies, our approaches. If we do not rethink our approaches, our strategies and continue with the same way, there is every possibility when you write, I can't write mains anymore, when you write your mains, you will be able to score marks, but it might not be enough if you do not change your strategies, your thinking. All of you are following my point? What has happened in the present time as far as I am concerned, ever since prelims has happened, there are many people who visit us on a daily basis. One of the doubts that they usually have is this, sir, when I look at the rank holders, they're not scoring that well in essay or even your ethics paper. What should we do as such? How different should we be? There are multiple questions related to ethics and essay. That is why I thought of having an open session where I could convey whatever I have gathered in my last couple of years as a teacher and also as a student some time ago and share that wisdom with you. Understanding my point? As far as I am concerned, UPSC is changing. Not drastically, but little by little. And if we do not change our strategies and our approach to match these changes by UPSC, we will be left behind. Understanding my point? There is absolutely no point in you clearing pre, writing mains and unable to clear mains, speaking from personal experience. Because you have to wait one more year to write prelims again. And you have to hope that you will clear pre. Am I right? This is a very vicious cycle. It keeps on going on. So when you get a chance to write mains, you have to write it in such a way that you should be able to score 160 in your essay paper. You need to have that confidence. And when you write your ethics paper, you should have the confidence to score 140. This open session is just trying to give you an orientation in this regard. All of you are following me? Yes, please come back. Look at this image, right, which is there on the board. Now this is what we call as a mental experiment or a thought experiment. Understanding my point? Now those who have attended my OGP classes, you know, my approach to any subject I teach, it might be art and culture, ethics or even essay for that matter, it is not going to be as same as most other faculties who are teaching that subject. It will be a little bit different. Different in a good way. Understanding my point? I do not restrict myself to the books that are available to you in the market or to your notes which you get on Telegram or elsewhere. Understand my point? When you look at this thought experiment, I want you to focus a little bit here, just a little bit. Look at this one. On the left hand side, you see a ship. And what have they written? It asks the question, if you replace every part of a ship one by one until none of the original parts remain. So here you have a ship. It has multiple components. Let us say this ship is not doing so well. It is in a deteriorating condition. So what will I do? I will take one part, replace it with a new one. After some time, I will take another part and replace it with a new one. After few more changes, this ship is entirely different. Understanding my point? Whatever old components were there, I have just removed it and have replaced it with new one. So the question this one is asking is this: will it be the same ship? Will it be the same ship? And if not, at what point does it become another ship? Did you get this thought experiment? This thought experiment is what we call a hypothesis. Theseus, hypothesis. So here in this thought experiment, you had a ship. Now that ship had multiple components which were degrading, deteriorating in its nature. So what people did, they took one component of the ship and replaced it with a new one. They took another component of a ship, replaced it with a new one. Now the question they are asking is this a new ship entirely, or is this the same as old one? That is the question they are asking you. Now what do you think the answer is? Is it a new ship as per you? Or is it the same? Same. How? Sorry? It's a new ship. So madam is saying new ship. Madam, what are you saying? It's a new ship. Anyone who is saying that it is an old ship only? One person. What's your name, sir? Go ahead. Shoaib. OGP or a non-OGP student? Okay. Tell me, sir, why do you think it's an old ship? Okay. It is the same ship with? Okay. Okay, good. So here, look at this one. When I gave you a thought experiment, in the name itself you have this term, thought. Understanding my point? When I used to write UPSC examinations and we got essay topics, most of the times we used to adopt an approach called as pestle approach, or in other ways you call it as a dimensional approach, multi-dimensional approach, political dimension, economic dimension, science and technology, environment, like this. People used to write that. And we used to score reasonable marks. Understanding my point? But these days when you look at the kind of topics that they are asking, they are very interesting in nature. Understanding my point? They are very interesting in nature, and since you have so many videos available to you, so many free content available to you, if you refer this free content, you can make out almost each and every one is trying to give you a template on how to write an essay. Am I right? Not long ago, I had a student. The student had come to me for essay evaluation, and one of the doubts asked by the student was this: sir, I watched a video. In that video, the concerned person told, first essay write from a multi-dimensional perspective, second essay write from a debate perspective. Sir, should I go with this template? Should I go with this approach? Now, you know what is the problem with that approach? You know what is the problem with the template? Because the first essay, it might not be requiring the dimensional approach. You can go with a debate over there. The second essay, it might not be requiring the debate approach, but rather you can go with a dimensional or a different walks of life. So many approaches are there. You can mix two different approaches. All of you are following me. One of the primary reasons, as far as I believe, why students are unable to score good marks in ethics as well as essay, even though they have so much of talent in abundance, it is because they are getting addicted to templates way too much. They are overemphasizing on templates. Understanding my point? For the last 1 week, I was wondering, as a teacher, we also have to be eternal students. We have to keep learning. So I did a small research about so many videos available on your YouTube. I was observing Most of these YouTube videos, the session they had taken, open session, things like that, it was for 4 hours, 6 hours. Understanding my point? Don't worry, I will never take so much of open session for you. Today we are going to sit here for 2 hours, max to max 2.5 hours. Understanding my point? Yes. So when I watched most of the videos, the tune, the raga was much the same. Understand my point? There was not much of difference. All of them were giving their own templates as such. And all these videos, they were watched by thousands of people. Now the people who made those videos, they are very good. I'm not denying that fact at all. They're great teachers. But when they are showcasing the video to you and giving you a template, when they're giving you an approach and you're writing as per that template, as per that approach, you are not bringing your own perspective. There is no originality as such. Understanding my point? And there are thousands of people who have watched the same video. They will also be writing the same way. For those who know me, almost on a daily basis, you know, minimum 10 essays I will be evaluating, 10 essays, minimum. But very rarely will I come across an essay topic where I will feel happy. Understand my point? Essay answer, sorry. Day before yesterday, I guess, madam had come for essay evaluation and the topic that she had written an essay was, forests precede civilization, deserts follow them. So she had given an introduction which was very interesting. Not many people had gone for that introduction, so I gave her the credit. But as and when I studied the entirety of the essay, I felt it was not meeting UPSC standards in certain ways because it had gone with a template kind of an approach where I found it to be lacking in depth. Understand my point? So here when I mention no templates, I really mean it. In this class, I'm not going to give you any template. You have to apply this template for this particular essay, another template for another type of essay. No. What I'm going to do is give you various tools. Understand my point? You know what is a toolbox? In a toolbox, will you have just one tool or multiple? You will have multiple tools. I'm going to give you these multiple tools. So for a specific problem, you have to know which tool to use. This is very important for me. I've had students who have consistently scored 140 in their essay paper. I've had students who have consistently scored 130 plus in their ethics paper. And at one point in time, I had a student who managed to score 160 even in the essay paper. Understanding my point? So what I see in them is not a template-based approach, but rather it's a thinking candidate. When you go for a template-based approach given by whatever faculties are there, whatever videos are available to you on the YouTube, you're not thinking for yourself. And when you don't think for yourself, that is when you will end up in problematic areas. Understand my point? When I gave you this essay topic, this thought experiment, some of you thought, and that is very beautiful for me. Understand my point? Whether you write the best possible essay, the first time around, I really don't care. What I do care is that you start thinking, you start giving exercise to your brain. One group of people said, no sir, it is the old ship only. Another group of people said, it is a new ship. Understanding my point? If you ask me, it is old and new at the same time. Am I right or am I wrong? It is old and new at the same time. New how? In terms of new, you have different components. All of you are following me, different parts. Old how? The essence, the character, the core aspects of that ship is still retained. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. All of you are following me. Now, there is an essay topic called as you can't step on the same river twice. Have you heard of this essay topic? You can't step on the same river twice because when tomorrow comes, neither the river is the same nor are you. Have you heard of this topic? Many people consider this to be one of the most difficult topics that exist in UPSC. Many people call such kind of topics as very abstract. Understand my point? I have heard YouTube experts saying that it is an abstract philosophical essay topic. I don't see that much of abstractness here. When YouTube experts say that it is an abstract essay topic, there are two things which are happening here. One, they're unnecessarily creating fear in you. I've seen multiple students who are so afraid to take up abstract philosophical essays. All of you are following me. I don't like that. Abstract philosophical topics are not something that you should be so afraid of. They're quite easy. Don't worry about it. The second thing, when they say that essay topics are very abstract, another unintended consequence that happens on our students is they bring each and everything that their mind could think of. There's not much of structure there. There's not much of quality of points there. All of you are following me. When this happens, your essay marks will go down. I have met quite a few students, right? I was not teaching essay, right, for a very long period of time here at Insights. It is just recently that I've started teaching you essays. I've seen students who have come to me after they wrote their essay paper and they told me, sir, I have done my essay paper very well. They had a lot of confidence. Some of these students, they went ahead and they scored good marks. On the other side, some students, they could not. The reason is very simple. They were not thinking enough. You can't step on the same river twice. I bet my life. Go and look at any rank holder's essay. Very few. I'm being humble here. If I have to be arrogant, I will say none of them have written this thought experiment. But in case, if there are some, it will be only some. Understanding my point? You can't step on the same river twice. In that particular essay topic, can I use this thought experiment? This is what we call a ship of thesis. You have to be creative. You have to be original. You cannot outsource your thinking process to the template approach given by people. Understand my point? What I have seen students do these days, they will chat GPT the topic. You can't step on the same river twice. Understand my point? And they will ask the chat GPT to give you an introduction. The problem is, chat GPT, when it gives you an introduction, if someone asks the same thing to chat GPT, it will also give more or less the same introduction. And here your mind is not thinking. What is the guarantee that tomorrow when you go to the UPSC examination hall, you will have a similar topic where you can use the introduction given by ChatGPT? Do you think it is possible? When there is a question in front of you, your mind should have the capability to think on the spot. Many people are unable to do it. That is why they are losing marks even more. Are you all understanding my point? When I told UPSC is changing, bits and parts of UPSC ethics and essay paper in particular are changing. They are evolving. But the core part of UPSC ethics and essay paper still remains the same. When they are evaluating your answer papers, they are evaluating your personality, they are evaluating your originality. Understand my point? The core part remains the same. The outward part, it is changing here and there, and we have to plan accordingly. If not, we will be left behind. Am I making my point clear? That's the thing. Did you understand? Yes. Please come back. Apart from this overemphasis on templates, what are the other reasons why people are unable to score that well in your ethics and essay paper? Listen to me. I was watching a video, and in that video, one of the faculties who was handling open session, that particular individual told, you should not start writing any essay until and unless you are very good with ethics. Understanding my point? Now, this observation is only partially correct. Only partially correct. It is not completely correct. When you look at some of the essay topics, right, if you have knowledge of ethics, it does help you. You have a subject called as ethics, integrity, aptitude. Do you remember? Yes. If you have a basic knowledge of this particular subject, it's good. It's fine. But that in itself is not enough. Along with that, there are other foundations that you need to be good with. All of you are following me? Most of the time when I am evaluating essays, I am reading the same examples. Understand my point? There is not much of new insights. And ethics and essay, the greatest challenge as far as I am concerned, you will read the subject. But the problem with students is they are unable to look at the outside world or whatever other subjects you read from an ethics or an essay point of view. This is the biggest problem. Understanding my point? Let us say you're reading polity. Let us say you're reading economy, environment, whatever the subject might be. There is still some ethics, there is still some essay that you can apply over there as well. You should analyze your polity papers even from an ethical point of view. All if you're following me. That's the thing. You can't step on the same river twice. Now, if I analyze the same topic from a polity point of view, look at our constitution. This constitution has survived since independence even to the present times. If you look at the constitutions in and around the region, it might be Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, whatever countries it might be. These constitutions have not performed so well as they should. Am I right or am I wrong? What is the reason? Let us not get into that. Let us just focus on our constitution. What is the reason that our constitution has survived for such a long time? Not only survived, in fact, it has thrived. Why? Because our constitution is a blend of rigidity as well as flexibility. Because we know if I make a constitution keeping in mind 1947 conditions, it might not be the same conditions existing in 2025. There should be some flexibility given. Understand my point? I can make changes in the constitution. You also know that. So long as I don't change the character of the constitution itself. What is this doctrine called as? Doctrine of basic structure. Do you remember that? That's the thing. Keshavananda Bharati case. So when you are reading polity, economy or environment, whatever subjects it might be, if there is an ethics and essay angle that you can approach, that you can get some good fodder points, please do it. Understand your point? And I respectfully disagree with the individual who gave this belief that you have to start writing essay only after ethics, integrity and aptitude is done for you. You have sufficient knowledge as of now. Use that sufficient knowledge to put across what you think on the paper. As and when ethics, integrity, aptitude is done for you or you have studied it, the nature of your essays will improve. But do not wait until the subject is done for you to pick up a pen, right, and start putting your thoughts on paper. All if you're following me, that's the thing. If you look at some of the themes that they're asking, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Here the theme is what? Happiness. Have you not heard about happiness ever since you were born? You know a little bit about it. So whatever thoughts you have, put that on paper. Do not wait for ethics, integrity and aptitude to be done to start writing an essay. All if you're following me, when it is done, yes, your depth will increase. Understand my point? But please do not postpone. Please do not delay your essay answer writing practice. Usually I tell my students, if you're writing mains this time around, once in 3 days, you have to write an essay and practice it. If you are writing mains next time around, hopefully I want all of you to write mains next time around if you're not writing this time. Every Sunday, you have to write an essay. Understanding my point? There are some OGP students here, right? And there might be some non-OGP students as well. Whenever you write an essay, and in case if you need some observations, critical observations related to that, you're always most welcome to visit us. Understand my point? You can just send me a message on my Telegram ID and I'll let you know at what time you can come. All if you're following me. So don't worry, sir is a inside faculty. Will he entertain students from non-OGP? I will always be happy to share my knowledge with you, my experience. Just use it. Understanding my point? Now please come back, come back. There's one more thing. The foundation part I've told you. All if you're following me, that's one thing. The second point related to this one is, here foundation does not only mean ethics, integrity and aptitude. The foundation is also concerning your hobbies, your habits. Understand my point? When you are writing ethics and essay, if you have good set of habits, good set of hobbies at your disposal, it really improves your writing that much. But you know very well, at this point in time, our students or our generation, are they so good with their habits, so good with their hobbies? No. And this is getting reflected in their ethics and essay answer paper. They are not able to give us the kind of critical thinking or original insights that we want. So when you have all these YouTube experts saying the foundation for essay is just there in ethics, integrity and aptitude, they're partially correct but not completely. The foundation for your essay answer writing practice includes even the other non-co-curricular things that you're doing at this point in time. Your hobbies, your habits and everything. All of you are following me. That's the thing. Excellence, Aristotle has said, It is a matter of habit. All of you are following me? It is not a random act. So when I told you that every Sunday you have to write an essay, once in 3 days you have to write an essay, if your writing means this time around, you should make that as a habit. The more you write, the better you will be prepared to answer any kind of question given by your UPSC in its examination. All of you are following me? Not just with respect to ethics and essay, everything. Look at the third one. Lack of effective practice. I just wanted to put across lack of practice, but I wanted to include lack of effective practice. What do I mean by that? There are two sets of students that I have seen. One set of students, they will not start practicing at all. They think that all the thoughts that are required to write the most beautiful essay is there in their mind. So they will keep these thoughts in their mind. When mains is nearby, they might give full length test here and there. They might write some essay test here and there. That is not practice. All of you are following me? This is one set of students. The second set of students, they will be practicing, but they will not be getting the observations from their faculties or mentors when it is required. They will just be writing, and they will be writing in a very mechanical way. Understanding my point? That is not right. All of you are following me? This second set of students, when they are writing, if they have conversations about their essay, if not with their mentors, at least with their friends, some of them who might have given mains or even interviews, that will help. Because here there is exchange of ideas happening. Am I right or am I wrong? Many people I have seen, they will be writing essays. When I ask them how many essays you have written, they will say 30, 40 essays. But when I look at their essay for the very first time, I feel there is not much of depth which is required there. All of you are following me? For me, effective practice is writing consistently. Along with writing consistently, getting the observations from your concerned faculties or mentors as you want to be. And if you have any friend who is very good with essay answer writing, who have scored very good marks in their mains, you can always approach them as well. Nothing wrong. Understand my point? Most of the times, 90% of the times, the problem here is they don't start practicing. That is why when you look at either essay or even ethics for that matter, they're unable to score that kind of marks. All of you are following me? And I've seen this overemphasis on templates happen with ethics as well. I was going through some of the answers of these rank holders, which they had written for some institution, where the institution gave them very good marks. But when UPSC exams happened, and then they got their marks, the ethics marks was less. The reason I could make out very easily, here in ethics, when I'm teaching you ethics, I will be telling you in introduction, there are minimum of 5 approaches. In conclusion also, I will be giving you multiple approaches. In the body of the answer, I will be teaching you how to balance arguments and examples. All of you are following me? But when I look at the ethics answers of some of these rank holders who have not been able to score that well in ethics, you remember that 157 essay marks? That fellow had scored around 85 in his ethics paper. All of you are following me? Just because you're good in essay doesn't mean that you will be good in ethics. Just because you're good in ethics doesn't mean you'll be good in, yes. Most of the videos that I had watched, they were unable to observe this simple fact. So why were these rank holders not scoring that well in their ethics paper? The answer is this. There is a template even there as well. If you're writing the introduction, give a quote. If you're writing the conclusion, give a quote. In the body of the answer, put more examples. This is a template that many rank holders have used. Because of this template, they have not scored as many marks as they should, even though they had the talent. All of you following me? So the points that I've mentioned here, right, it applies to both ethics as well as essay. When I say lack of effective practice, I've seen this. Ethics and essay, these are two subjects which are not given proper attention by our students. When you look at the weightage of ethics and essay, in totality, how many marks? Weightage of ethics and essay, 500 marks. But I have seen students who do not start preparation for ethics and essay until and unless they clear pre. Once they clear pre, let us say, they get into some sort of a crash courses and they expect quick results, quick templates. And when they go ahead and replicate the same thing in their answer paper, do you think they will be able to get good marks? No. You have to start your ethics and essay as soon as possible. The more you practice, no matter what kind of paper UPSC gives, it might be ethics, it might be essay, very difficult paper, you still will have the ability to score very well. Understanding my point? And I have seen this with some of the rank holders and also with you. Let us say some rank 2, some rank 3 student, when she was giving a topper's talk, she told in her answer paper, she used to write mythology. Now, so many students who have watched her video, they will also start doing the same thing. See, mythology was her strong point. It might not be the strong point for you. Everyone, when they start writing the same mythological examples in essay, in ethics paper, do you think there is any sort of originality there? The evaluator will not give you marks. You might be wondering, I had completed the paper, I had given such good mythological examples. Why did I not score marks? Because you blindly believed what your toppers told you. You have to take some good points from each of these toppers and you have to still retain your uniqueness. If you don't retain your uniqueness, you will not get marks. Understanding? 157 in essay, 85, 87 in his ethics paper. I felt sad. All of you following me? 141 in ethics paper and 100 in essay paper. That was also a great mismatch. All of you following me? Come back. Look at the other one. Not understanding the true demand of UPSC. Now go back home and look at all these videos which are available, which will be telling you the strategies for discussing your ethics as well as essay. If you look at them, they would have divided essays from 2 points of views. The first one is what they call as technical essays. All of you are following me? And the second one, you can only tell me, what is the second one? Philosophical essay. See, I genuinely believe this kind of classification is no longer valid. No longer valid. If you are starting to make classifications like this is where you are losing out. Understand my point? Please do not have this kind of a setup in your mind. This is a very, very wrong setup. When you look at essays, I will be sharing you how you should classify your essays based on themes. And if you look at essay papers from 1993 till 2024, there are a total of 26 themes. Understand my point? And on these 26 themes, your essay topics will be from. Likewise, even in your ethics paper, there are some predefined themes. All of you are following me? So when you want to score the highest marks, see, I am that kind of an individual who is not going to be happy with just average marks. I am that kind of an individual who will not be happy just because you got into merit list. I don't care about it. What I care about is when you go to the examination hall, you should have the confidence that I will be the topper. Understand my point? You should have such kind of brutal confidence when it comes to this examination. You should not have that self-doubt, that self-fear, whatever you want to call it as. Understand my point? So please come back. So before you give your ethics and essay paper, please understand what are the true demands of your UPSC. Do not get sucked into this technical and philosophical essays kind of classification. I think this is not the right way to go about. All of you are following me? Come back. What is the right way to go about? I will be sharing that with you in the next couple of minutes. Don't worry. The other reason why many people are not scoring that well in ethics and essay paper is because they are unnecessarily complicating things. Understand my point? Now, many of the people whom I meet on a daily basis, they tell me their English is not that good enough. Understand my point? And then there are some people whose English is quite good. They don't make so many grammatical errors. Their vocabulary is also quite good. All of you are following me? But when I look at rank holders, I have met some students whose English was very good. But when they wrote their ethics and essay paper, they scored very less. I have met some students whose English was not as good as it should be based on the prevalent standards. But nevertheless, when they got their marks in ethics and essay paper, it was quite good. The major difference here, all right, the major difference here is not the language. The major difference is how you present whatever you know in as simple way as possible. Many students, they unnecessarily complicate things, unnecessarily. Understand my point? They bring this Shashi Tharoor type of language. All of you are following me. Sometimes even Shashi Tharoor does not understand himself. He has that kind of a language. So let him be. Whatever you are learning, please learn and present it in a simple way. All of you are following my point. Do that. If you don't do that and you're unnecessarily complicating things, be it in your ethics paper or even in your essay paper, you will not be scoring that marks. I've seen some of these videos that you usually watch, that you keep in mind, strategy sessions, these individuals take. They're very good individuals, nothing wrong with them. Understand my point? But more or less, everyone is singing the same raga, the same tune. And because of this Chat GPT, Gemini and all these kind of things, all of you are following me. Rather than simplifying it, they're complicating it even more than what it is required. All of you are following me. There is a book that I'm reading as of now. The name of the book is Live Like a Philosopher. Did you understand the name of this book? The name of this book is Live Like a Philosopher. 3 people have written this book. 3 authors. One of the authors' name I remember, Gregory Lopez, I guess his name is. Live Like a Philosopher. Now, why I like this book quite a lot is this. Many of you have heard this from YouTube experts and sometimes even rank holders saying that philosophical topics are quite specific or abstract. Abstract. You have heard of that. But philosophy, ethics, it should not be abstract, but rather it should be practical. Understanding my point? When I'm reading this book, Live Like a Philosopher, they have brought about some 20 philosophers, major philosophers from Western as well as the Eastern world. And whatever philosophies they have tried to implement it in each and everyone's life. That is what they have done. Even for the most simplest of things. All of you are following me, right? My friend in the t-shirt with the specs. Yes, sir. What's your name, sir? OGP or non-OGP? Test it. It's not a problem, sir. Will you be writing mains this time? Very good. Have you written mains before? Right. Any philosophies that you are very fond of? Any philosophies that you're fond of? Let us say we are talking about education. Any philosophies that you think, let us say it is an education related essay topic. All right. So in this education related essay topic, whose philosophy do you think we can write there? Any idea? You can't say Kant, you can't say Aristotle, you can't say J.S. Mill, Jeremy Bentham, Gandhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the usual people that people always write about. Sorry? What's your optional subject? That's why. Understanding my point? That's why. If I asked a sociology student, he might say Max Weber, right? But remember, this is a general studies essay paper. All of you are following me? It is a general studies essay paper. So when you write your essays, if it comes across as an optional paper, the evaluator will not be giving you marks. All of you are following me? And all of these essays, they will be evaluated by your English professors. All of you are following me? They might have some idea of your Plato, Aristotle and everyone. But they will have much better idea about your authors, writers. There is this very beautiful book called as Hard Times. H-A-R-D, Hard Times, T-I-M-E-S, Hard Times, written by an individual called as Charles Dickens. There he talks about the education system prevalent in England at that point in time. When I look at the education prevalent in England at that point in time, and I look at the education as of now, they're exactly the same. So in Charles Dickens' Hard Times, he talks about that education in England where people were made to by heart. This is what we call as what type of learning? Rote learning. Understand my point? Creativity was not encouraged in that particular environment. When I come back and look at our education system as well, do you see so much of creative based learning or is it still rote learning? Rote learning. All of you are following me? So when I told you one of the reasons why people are not able to score that high marks in their ethics and essay, the foundations are weak. Understand my point? We are aware of Kant, we are aware of Plato. All of you are following me? You can bring other philosophers that people usually write, but over and above it, we don't have the necessary depth. Understand my point? 13,000 people will be writing mains along with him. And imagine the evaluator. He is evaluating quite a few essay papers on a daily basis and he is seeing the same name. He is seeing the same philosophy. He'll get irritated. Just a little bit different, a unique one here and there. That will make all the necessary difference. Am I right or am I wrong? This is what I meant. All of you are following me? Yes? Come back, come back. So I told you, you have to understand the true demand. Be it your ethics or essay, you have to understand the true demand. Here I'm just focusing on the true demand of essay. All of you are following me? True demand of essay. Look at this one. I told you how many themes are there in your UPSC essay paper? Around 26. So I've mentioned all those 26. All of you are following me? If you look at the first one, India since independence hyphen aspirations, reflection and identity. It's been so many years that India got independence. Am I right? Yes. So based on this, there have been quite a few topics which they have asked. Dreams that should not let India sleep. All of you are following me? They have also asked about the colonial mentality, the mindset people usually have in India even after so many years of independence. You know what is colonial mindset, right? You're all writing this examination to be IAS, IPS and whatnot. But the problem is this, I've seen many IAS and IPS officers, the moment they become officers, they have this colonial Babu mindset. Back in your Britishers period, the IAS and IPS officers, right, your Indian civil services at that point in time, do you remember? They used to act in a very arrogant manner. Am I right or am I wrong? They used to consider themselves as the rulers of this country. But when you look at the present time, are we having officers like that? Yes or no? We do have such officers. So here when you look at one of the themes, India since independence, it can be a very direct question. Or it can be what you people usually call it as a philosophical. But the theme is important for me. India since independence. Look at some of the questions they have asked. Is the colonial mentality hindering India's success? Whatever topics I have taken, I have not kept in mind only from 2013. I don't like that. From 1993 till 2024, whatever topics have been asked, I have classified them and segregated them not from a technical essay and a philosophical essay point of view, but rather from a theme based. So one of the first few things that you have to do in your ethics as well as essay paper is identify the themes. This is the greater challenge. If you have identified the themes, then everything else becomes easier. Let me just give you a hint. Let us say, right, don't worry madam, I'll send that across. Don't worry about the photo. Alright. What will you do once you take the photo? There are so many topics, right, under that. Don't worry. So listen to this. India since independence in 2013, they have asked a question, is the colonial mentality hindering India's success? Question mark. Right? I see one of my OGP students, Baswaraju here. Baswaraju, ella saukyave? Right? Yena suspend mabitralla police na, commissioner na, yenantiya? What is your opinion on that? No comments. Right? Pakka government employee. Right? Come back. So when we talk about this, is colonial mentality hindering India's success? Since you worked with the government departments, what do you think? Do people have this colonial mindset? Right? They don't have a constitutional mindset, they have a colonial mindset. Now, when you watch other videos, open strategy sessions and everything, what they will teach you? They will teach you how to write an introduction, how to write a body, how to write a conclusion. Good, nothing wrong with it. But what I want you to do is this. First, identify the themes. So here the theme is what? India since independence. Under that you have colonial mindset. So for this, what should be my effective introduction? You should start thinking. Understand my point? Once you identify the theme, what should be the introduction for it? What should be the kind of questions or originality I should explore in the body of the essay? How should be the conclusion? Focus on the themes. And as per the themes, then you can brainstorm the points which are required. All of you are following my point? Look at this one. Alright? Look at this one. The moment I read Postcolonial Attitude or things like that, there are few books which come to my mind. The first one is what we call as Tempest. This was written by an individual called as Shakespeare. I think you have heard of his name. Shakespeare. Yes, that's one thing. Another book which was written by a Britisher was A Passage to India. This was during your British Occupation of India. All of you are following me. This is also a good book. And there is an author. All right. His name, V.S. Naipaul. He has written multiple books. One of the books that you can bring in topics, in themes like this, his book is called as A House for Mr. Biswas. All of you are following me. If you open today's newspaper, right, I'm talking about Indian Express. If you open today's Indian Express, there is an article on those Indians who had gone to your West Indies, Caribbean islands. I hope you have read it. Understand my point? That article was talking about the post-colonial nature. All of you are following my point. Look at this one. I have classified these topics from 2013. Some of them are going back to 1993. My vision of India in 2001. All of you are following me. Now this one, this essay topic, my vision of India in 2001, is somewhat similar to dreams which should not let India sleep. Yes. What many students are doing at this point in time, they're learning how to write introduction, they're learning how to write body, they're learning how to write conclusion. Nothing wrong with that approach. Very good. But when you're learning how to write introduction, body and conclusion in a very blank manner and not associating with themes like this, you will not be doing as good as you should be. All of you are following me. Based on all these topics asked, what is my inference with respect to this? India's internal struggle with post-colonial identity. Even though we have achieved independence as such, in our mindset, we still retain that Babu mentality. Am I right or am I wrong? We still are obsessed with power. British is very obsessed with power. We still have that. Understand my point? That is when this particular essay topic should come to your mind. Gandhiji's Swadhinatha, Swaraj and Dharma Rajya, their modern relevance. So all of you are following my point. So the moment you go to your ethics paper as well, identify the themes. Once you have identified the themes, just make a note of all the questions which have been asked there. Try to understand the underlying pattern in all these essay topics. Look at the other one. It's aspirational ideals and ground realities of governance. We have created a democracy as such, right? You have all the processes, institution, but do they have Dharma Rajya? The governance that we have as of now, you study in your ethics paper as well as in your GS paper 2 governance. The governance that we have in our country, do you find very high ideals of good governance? Very high ideals of ethical governance? No. That is when your Dharma Rajya does not come into the picture, right? As of now, we don't have that. Am I right or am I wrong? So what are those aspirational ideals that we should explore in life? What are the post-colonial mindset that still exists in our country? The ground realities of governance. Keeping these three things in mind, they have asked multiple essays starting from your 1993 till your 2024. Am I making my point clear? That's the thing. All of you are following me. Like this, there are 26 such themes, 26. Due to paucity of time, I can't go through each and every theme in detail. But my advice, have a classification like this, right? Under that theme, whatever questions have been asked, just write it down. What is their inference? That also you note it down. And then you start writing what is the best possible introduction, best possible body, best possible conclusion for this particular theme. All of you are following me. Let us say I am someone who is writing an introduction for this particular theme. In my mind, when I prepare, let us say I'm writing mains this time around. When I will be writing mains, if this theme is asked, I need to think of books such as Tempest. I need to think books such as A Passage to India. I need to think about authors like V.S. Naipaul. All of you are following me like this. When you do this, I'm pretty sure 13,000, 15,000, whatever people are writing, I will bet my life that your essay will stand out. Understanding my point? It will stand out. And those who have attended my essay classes, I have taught you this. When we start writing introduction, usually, sir, how much marks do you score? How many will be writing mains this time around? Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Yes. How many marks were you scoring, sir, in your mains, test series, whatever you were giving, SMA? Sorry, sir? You tried on your own. Not a problem. Baswaraju, I know you are taking test. So you can't say no. How much were you scoring? From one essay or both? Yes. You have to say that, no? 108 from both essays. So it might be 54. Yes. Now here, you have a trend these days. Everyone is making videos. Understand my point? Getting these rank holders, and these rank holders also, they have scored around 108, 113, 115. They're good marks. They're very good marks. I'm not going to deny. Understand my point? But when there are students who are scoring 157, 140s in their essay paper, right? 108 or 113 or 115, it is not as good as it should be. Am I right? So please push yourself hard. Understand my point? Usually when I evaluate essay, what I see is this. They write the introduction more from an anecdote and imaginary story perspective. Couple of years ago, some rank holder, he was very good with giving imaginary story. Understand my point? He was very good with giving anecdotes. Anecdotes means real life examples. They were very good with that. Now these rank holders, they got good marks that particular year, and their essays, it became viral. All of you are following me? It became viral and everyone started to write in the same way. Even to this day, when I evaluate almost 10 essays on a daily basis, most of the students are giving a anecdote based introduction or an imaginary based introduction, which is very irritating. All of you are following me? If you are going for anecdote or even your imaginary story, please make sure that it is quite interesting. If it is as same as everyone else, then there is no originality there. There is no novelty there. No one is going to give you good marks. Am I making my point clear? So in our OGP classes, I have taught you this. Introduction, it's not just two approaches that you have. Apart from that, there are 6 approaches. It might be book approach. It might be philosophical. It might be quotation based. It might be a rhetorical approach. It might be a contextual approach. All of you are following me? It can be a movie reference as well. Understand my point? It can be a psychological based introduction as well. You need to be aware of whatever depth is there in the introduction, and based on that essay topic, if you feel you have a very good psychological introduction for it or a very good book approach for it, then go for it. Just because some rank holder or some YouTube expert has said, right, they wrote anecdote approach or they wrote imaginary approach, don't do the same thing. It is not going to give you such kind of a return. This is what I have been observing. Yes, there are students who have scored 113, 115, right? They are being celebrated and they deserve all the credit. I'm not taking anything away from them. But when my students write essay, they should have that brute confidence that these 2 essays will fetch me nothing less than 140. Understand my point? I want you to have such brute confidence. All of you are following me? So please be aware. So let us say I am again India since independence, aspirations, reflective and whatever it might be, aspirations. For that, what could be the possible introduction from an anecdote, from an imaginary, right? From a book reference, from a movie, from a psychological, from a philosophical, I will be keeping all these things in mind. Have you heard of something called as Jungle Book? Jungle Book, who was the protagonist here in Jungle Book? Who was who is the protagonist? Hero. Mowgli, right? Who was the villain? Sher Khan. Do you remember these characters? Yes. But if you ask me, let us say I am writing an essay about this particular theme and I am bringing Jungle Book, which was written by a guy called as Rudyard Kipling. If you just observe the Mowglis and all these people who were living in the forest areas, understand my point? The subtext, the underlying meaning was they represent Indians. We are Mowglis. Understand my point? And you had these villagers staying in settled area. Do you remember all these kind of things? They were outcomes of British imperialism. All of you are following me? There are such beautiful insights that you can get from these kind of books. So you have to keep in your mind how to go about it. Not long ago, there was a Kenyan author who unfortunately passed away. Understand my point? He had also written multiple books on post-colonial truths. All of you are following me? You are reading newspapers on a daily basis. You're listening to classes, you're watching YouTube videos on multiple things, non-UPSC things as well. And if you come across something interesting, you should have the ability to document it. And not just documenting, you should have the ability to connect it as well. If not, getting that brute confidence to score 140 plus in your ethics or even in your essay paper is not going to be so easy. Am I making my point clear? Yes. All of you are following me. Just like that, India since independence, right? You have this book. This is written by a guy called as Nandan Nilekani, right? What is the name of this book? Imagining India. Understanding my point? Imagining India. Now, usually what happens whenever students are quoting people, quoting references in their essay papers, it is Gandhi, it is Ambedkar, nothing wrong. They're great people. Understand my point? Their ideologies, their vision are still relevant in the present times. I'm not denying that at all. However, over and above them, there have been many other people in our country. This book is a very good book. He talks about what are those aspirational ideals that we have to keep in mind for 21st century. All of you are following me. So there are some very good points that you can use for essay topics such as dreams that should not let India sleep. All of you are following me. So this is how you are going to plan. All of you are following me. How to write a good intro, how to write a good body, how to write a good conclusion. You know, you have a fair idea. How to make it the best possible. Take themes, as per the themes, start gathering content, then start writing. All of you are following me. Come back. Just like that, there are 26 themes. I've just told you about one. Look at the other one. Values and philosophies in education. All of you are following me. Why is it that I do not believe in abstract philosophies like how some YouTube experts or faculties believe? The reason is this, very simple. When you look at your essay papers from 1993 even till 2024, they have made these values or ethics specific to certain domains. Here, they have made values specific to education. Understanding my point? That was the question that I asked him. When I am reading body of the essay, listen to me carefully. When I am reading body of the essay, here there is a predetermined template which is given to you. The predetermined template is, in the first part of the body of the essay, you have to start talking about the keywords. Understand my point? Start talking about the keywords. Let us say they have given you a keyword called as what is real education. Sorry, the essay topic. What is the keyword here? Education. Understand my point? Like this. Every essay will have its own set of keywords. So in the first part of the body of the essay, you will be explaining what that keyword is. Nothing wrong with this. Understand my point? Next, your faculties, they would have taught you use temporal approach, past, present, future. Nothing wrong with that. Then they will start telling you what are the problems with present system of education in India and what kind of solutions you should give. Nothing wrong with that. All of you are following me. But 99% of the times when I'm evaluating essay, these are the things which will be there in almost everyone's essay. Everyone's. All of you are following me. What I want in the body of the essay is for you to ask some interesting questions. Let us say I am asking you what should be the philosophy of Indian education system. Let us say I make Madam tomorrow the education minister and I am a journalist, and as a journalist I am asking Madam here, Madam, what do you think should be underlying philosophy of Indian education system to meet the challenges of 21st century? I am asking her that. She should be able to answer. Let us say tomorrow you are going to interview and a similar question is asked. All of you following me? You will be able to give your own philosophies provided you have knowledge of some philosophies which are part and parcel of your ethics, integrity and aptitude. However, never, ever, ever, to quote Mr. Arnab Goswami, all right, constrain yourself to only these few philosophies you read in your ethics, integrity and aptitude. Go a little bit over and above. All of you are following me? Little bit over and above. Whenever I read about education, students write Varda system of education, a Gandhian concept. Do you remember that? Students usually talk about Japanese model, Germany model. Good. But there are other case studies available to you as well. All of you are following me? In the body of the essay, whatever templates you have studied, temporal, problems in solution, debate, multi-dimensional approach, different walks of life. 99% of the people who are writing mains, they are aware of all these things. Or if you're following me. But where will you stamp your originality along with these things? If you can think of some interesting thoughts, or if you're following me, if you provide some interesting psychological details. I was watching this video. It was by a educationist. She had studied psychology as well. Carefully listen. Now that psychologist had told, in the present system of education, we have to inculcate in our students something called as growth mindset. Those students who have learned under me, for whom I have completed ethics, or I might have told this to them in essay paper as well. What is this growth mindset? Growth mindset means inculcating a sense of grit, inculcating a sense of passion. What do you call passion in Kannada as? Hummasu? Can I say that? Hummasu is basically enthusiasm, but you understand my point. All of you are following me. When I talk about Indian education system, that growth mindset is not there. The moment anyone sees an obstacle, understanding my point, they start fearing, they start doubting themselves, and they start to run away. Am I right or am I wrong? Our Indian education system should inculcate this growth mindset, and that growth mindset is based on two parameters. The first one is passion. Whatever you do in life, you should be invested in it. Ada mat karna, ardha marda marbedi. Adu political parties madutte, nee marbedi. All of you are following me. If you are going to do something in life, do with complete full passion in it. Along with that, develop a sense of grit. Grit means a sense of immunity, let us say. Understanding my point? No matter how many times you fall down, it is not the number of times you fall down that matters, but rather how you get back up. Am I right or am I wrong? That matters the most. That is grit. All of you are following me. As of now, when I look at the students of the present generation, they have been brought up in a bubble. Their parents would have brought them up in a bubble where every privileges will be given to them. The schools are also like that. All of you are following me. The schools are also like that. They keep the student in the bubble. They do not test their mind as much as they should. They do not push the students as much as they should. When I say push, I don't mean academic push. I mean in terms of critical thinking, strategic thinking, visionary thinking. They never push them. But when you go to the outside world, do you think the bubble will stay or do you think the bubble will burst? That is what is happening when you are not educating your kids for the real world challenges. Our students are not going to be happy. And that is exactly what you see in the present times as well. Am I right? There are multiple students who are writing this IIT, JEE examinations and whatnot. They're getting into good colleges, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, Guwahati. Do you remember that? But whenever you read newspapers on a weekly basis, you make out that these students who are in IIT, they're committing what? Right. Whenever I read it, my blood boils. Understand my point? What kind of country are we creating? A country which will achieve 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 15 trillion, but at what cost? Happiness? Mental peace? That should not be the case. All of you are following my point? So when I talk about body of the essay, there, over and above whatever templates has been taught to you, ask yourself some interesting question. This psychologist had spoken about this growth mindset. The same psychologist had also told education should be given from two parameters. One is motivational parameter and the second one is psychological parameter. How many of us in our education system, in our school days learned what is mental health? No, right? How many of us learned what kind of attitudes we should have? How are attitudes formed? None of us. How many of us learned about emotions? What are the various emotions we face? How to manage these emotions from our school days? Nothing much. When you are writing the body of the essay, carefully listen to me. I want certain value additions there. I want certain ethics, certain psychology, and some good philosophies, not just the old, usually used ones. Understand my point? All of you are following me? So if I ask him, our PSIR friend, who was Plato's guru? Sir, Socrates. Do you like Socrates? Why? Why? I'm not scolding you. I'm just testing you, my friend. What's your name? Rajesh. Yes, Rajesh. Go ahead. Okay, but That's not the answer, right? Why do you like Socrates? Founding father of philosophy, you're right. I'm not going to deny that. But personally, very good. Other than that, I like Socrates for this one reason. Understand my point? See, whenever you're writing an essay, you have to showcase your personality to your evaluators. Understand my point? That does not mean you will write your name. My name is Rajesh, my option is PSIR. What I mean is this. I'm a teacher, and for me Socrates is like my guru. The reason is Socrates taught people to question. So when he says an unexamined life is not worth living, here your Socrates was asking you to question anything and everything. All of you are following me? Socrates had this approach. Let us say I am Socrates. One group of people, I will introduce an issue to all of you. One group of people will give me a thesis statement. Another group of people will give me a antithesis statement. And eventually we will be discussing in such a manner that we will come with a synthesis. Understand my point? Socratic approach. In our education system, do we have this Socratic method of teaching where we encourage the aspect of questioning? Do we make our students question as much as we should? We don't. I remember when we were young, if a student asked question, the students themselves, they teased him or her. They used to call him or her as Doubt Raja, Doubt Rani. Am I right? And you had teachers, the moment you questioned any of their teachings, they used to get irritated and they used to scold you as well. Am I right? That is not how it should be. All of you are following me? So when you are writing your essay, even if you are quoting some of these people that usually are referred, just make sure that when you are presenting it, it is done in a humane and organic way possible. It should not come across as a mechanical way as you see in your YouTube experts or some other rank holder would have written in the essay and you've just cut, copy, pasted it. It doesn't work out. That is why people are unable to score even 100. Some are scoring 85, 88 and they're missing out on merit list because of such marks. I don't want you to be in that position because that is a very vicious cycle to be in. All of you are following me? Very vicious cycle. So you will change. So when I asked our friend Rajesh over here, what are some philosophies? Look at some of the philosophies I have written. For me, in Indian education system, reality is mentally constructed. I want my students in Indian education system to be mentally strong. Understand my point? Truth is found in ideas and the mind. I have to encourage my students to come out with ideas. All of you are following me? If you look at your 2024 essay paper, there is a very beautiful essay topic. All ideas having large consequences always have a simple solution. But if I'm not teaching my kids to question, if I'm not encouraging their ideas, if I'm scolding them, how can I create Vikshit Bharat? How can I create something which is great? It's not possible. Understand my point? If I want to become Vikshit Bharat or whatever targets we have given ourselves, we have to start focusing from the ground level, and that is education system. You guys agree with me? Like this, look at the other one. Education is a tool for emancipation and social justice. I've also mentioned the person who gave this. Understand my point? Emancipation. Emancipation means what? Upward movement or downward movement? Upward movement. It should empower you. Understand my point? But the education that we are giving you, is it empowering you? You tell me, yes or no? It might be giving you skills, I'm not denying it, but is it empowering you? Mind, body and soul, not so much. Because most of the students that I meet, that I interact with them on a daily basis as part of classes, as part of evaluation, mentorship and whatnot, they do not have that courage. Understand my point? They're not that bold as they should be. They fear. They are hopeless. They don't have hope in their life. That is not emancipation. Understand my point? In this room, if there were 10 lakh people here, I will still speak the same way. Why? Because I had some great teachers in my life. I had some good people in my life who taught me that way. Understand my point? That's the thing. All of you are following me. And our Indian education system is not empowering us in the way that we require. You guys agree with me? And look at the other one, social justice. When you look at our country, is it something which has equality or there is inequality? Inequality will exist in any country, every country. But our goal should be to reduce this inequality as much as possible. Am I right? Our goal should be to create more social justice. But you have come across newspaper articles where the teacher, she beat up a kid because that student was eating biryani in the class. Am I right? If I was there in that classroom, हमको भी थोड़ा 2 spoon 3 spoon. Understanding my point? That's the thing. All of you are following me. I can teach my kids Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, but if in my classroom I am not giving that effect to Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat in thoughts, words, and actions, it doesn't make any sense. You guys agree with me? And let me be honest with you. I'm teaching since few years, not just with Insights, with other institutions I'm also talking about. One thing that I've observed over a due course of time. All right, I'm not blaming you. Over a due course of time, in terms of education, the students, they're becoming more closed-minded rather than opening up their mind. This is happening because you're exposed to media, social media, every other types of media, which is radicalizing you knowingly or unknowingly. Am I right or am I wrong? And I feel this when I'm teaching some students. They're so closed-minded, they do not want to open their mind to other thoughts and other ideologies that it might exist. Why am I telling you this thing? Not just for entertainment purpose, no. Your UPSC has given you an essay topic, thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have a opposite team. When you are closed-minded, you will never have any respect for your opposite team. But when you're open-minded, you will entertain their thoughts. You will learn from them if required, and you will improve upon your thought. Understand my point? When I look at most of the students who are graduating, who are coming to UPSC field, they're very insecure. Very insecure. I don't like that. All of you are following me? There are certain flaws in all of us, I agree. But having such high levels of insecurity is not going to do you any world of good, either in this examination or even in your life. Am I making my point clear? Keep that in mind. Look at other things. Education should focus on enduring ideas and universal truths. All of you are following me? This is one more philosophy. Enduring ideas, sustainable ideas. Look at the last one. Individual must create their own meaning and values. This is your existential philosophy. All of you are following me? Can you please open your mobile just for a few seconds? Just for a few seconds. Open your mobile. All right. Google 2024 ethics paper. 2024 ethics paper. All right. 2024 ethics paper. There's a question there. It is a quote given by Swami Vivekananda. Can you please find that one? What's your name, sir? Orange color t-shirt. Naveen. OJP or non-OJP? ಯಾವ year? 2024. Which batch? Online student. Okay. I look like a villain, but I'm not. Yes. Is there any question on Swami Vivekananda? Yes. Can you please tell me what is that question? Learn everything. Learn everything that is good from others. Next. But bring it in and in your own way absorb it. Do not become others. In another way, he is saying whatever good things are being told by your faculties, YouTube experts, you listen to all of them. But at the end of the day, will you be exactly like them or will you be unique? This is what existential philosophy is. Education must create their own meaning and values. Understand my point? There is an essay topic, hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Most of the times when I evaluate essay on this topic, 90% of the people would have written about women. Right? In a way, yes. In our country, it is our mothers who take care of us usually. Yes. But do you think it is only mothers who are responsible for our upbringing? You have your fathers, you have your teachers. All of you are following my point. You have the teachers, they should teach you in such a way that I should give you knowledge about multiple values. But at the same time, I should give you the freedom and flexibility to create and find your own meaning and values in life. If I don't do that, I fail as a teacher. All of you are following me? So when you are writing the body of the essay, over and above whatever templates they have taught you, right? you should be asking yourself some interesting questions. And when you present arguments, right, your arguments should have some philosophy in it. Your arguments should have some psychology in it. Your arguments should have some ethics in it. Am I making my point clear? If you're writing purely from a dimensional perspective, political, economic, technological, it won't fetch your marks. All of you are able to follow? Come back, come back. Look at this. One more. You have something called as knowledge and reasoning. What is the true nature of knowledge? What is the true nature of reality? What is the true nature of perception? Everything, right? You have topics starting from 1993 till your 2024. I have not classified them as technical and philosophical. I don't like that. That kind of classification, I think we should change. We should not hold on to it. The more we hold on to it, we are not going to get good marks. Understanding my point? So look at this. What kind of question they have asked? Mindful manifesto is the catalyst for tranquil self. All of you are following me? And there are a huge set of topics that they have asked. I won't get into that as of now. So let us say, I told you just couple of minutes ago, there should be over and above whatever you have learned, whatever knowledge you have accumulated, there should be some creativity, there should be some originality. When you read science, you will come across something called as echo chamber. All of you are following me? When I look at the present world in which we are living, whenever you log into your YouTube, there is this very irritating guy, IIT Kharagpur. Do you remember him? His advertisement. He will say, learn Python. You don't need to trade in 21st century. Do you remember that? I want to meet this fellow face to face. Understand my point? Now, one time you will watch his advertisement. Okay, छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं. Early. Second time you will watch it. Third time you will watch it. Fourth time, okay. Let me pay that money and watch his session. Am I right? Echo chamber. All of you are following me? You're getting sucked into an echo chamber. When you get sucked into an echo chamber, when you keep hearing the same thing again and again, again and again, again and again, you reflect the same mentality, you reflect the same words, and you become a puppet, or are you free? You become a puppet. And I hate that. In life, there should be free will as much as possible. You can't have perfect free will, but as much as possible, you should enjoy that free will, because this is what I feel. This is my personal opinion, which will make you happy. If you feel that your life is based on the whims and fancies of others and you have no free will for yourself, you will never be happy. Understand my point? You must have heard, you need to be like a free bird. This is what they mean. When you are writing your essays, let us say there is a theme called as knowledge and reason. You have found out some good introductions for it. You have found out some good interesting questions related to it. You have found out some good qualitative content. It might be related to your echo chamber. In an echo chamber, when we are living in an echo chamber, do you think my mind will have the tranquil feeling? Never. And there is something called as Murphy's law, right? See, I am an engineer. I teach subjects such as ethics, essay, art and culture. But through and through, in my heart, I'm still an engineer. All of you are following me? There is this one law that I had come across in my engineering days, and that is Murphy's law. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong. Understand my point? You might have planned, listen to me carefully, you might have planned exactly that this is how life should turn. But do you think that is exactly how it will turn? No. For example, prelims 2025 paper. Am I right? I have seen people who have attempted 60 mock tests, 70 mock tests, and they were ready. The moment they went to your prelims examination hall and they saw the paper 1, first few questions, lengthy. So some students, what did they do? They went to the middle also lengthy. They went to the end also lengthy. Right? That is where they lost the battle. They became fearful. The thing is this, when you go to your prelims examination hall or even your mains examination hall, there will be certain random acts. Understand my point? If you are that kind of a person who wants to control each and everything, even the random nature of life, you will never be able to tackle the challenges of life. Things will go wrong. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's okay, it's fine. That is the random nature of life. Accept it and then deal with it. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. In that happiness is the path. Whatever path you're walking as of now, as a UPSC aspirant, There will be challenges. Things will go out of order. Understand my point? Don't be afraid. You can tackle it. Accept that randomness. All of you are following me. You cannot control each and everything in life. That to this world. Following my point? Why am I teaching you this? I want you to take themes. It might be in ethics, it might be in essay. Based on these themes, I want you to think, brainstorm. Based on this theme, I want you to make notes. Understand my point? Based on these themes, start practicing. All of you are following me? That is what I want. Let us say for this topic, knowledge and reason, he likes quotes. Understand my point? Let us say you're making notes for this theme. You will find out some quotes related to knowledge and reason. Right? His favorite quote. An unexamined life is not worth living. You can put that quote here, nothing wrong. All of you are following my point? Come back, come back. Like this, there are multiple themes. How many themes in totality? As per me, 26 you have. Right? Excellence and legacy. You know what is legacy? Something that you live behind. So you have your excellence and legacy. In that excellence and legacy, you have things such as a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is made for. The best time to repair the roof is when the sun is still shining. Smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. Before coming here, I was having conversations with few of my colleagues and friends as well. So when I had a conversation with a colleague and I told him, I want my students to start preparing for essays, not as an intro body conclusion exercise, but rather as a thematic based exercise. The colleague understood that. He encouraged. And he also gave me one very beautiful point to tell you. Smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is made for. Do you think they're totally different themes, or do you think they are sharing some similarities? A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is made for. The legacy of a ship, the excellence of a ship will be measured when it goes into the open waters. Am I right? Smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. Things will go wrong in life. When they go wrong in life, smile your way away from all problems. It's not an entirely different theme. It is same. Understanding? So on this theme, if you start making some very good notes, it might be in terms of philosophy, psychology, ethics, interesting questions related to that. All of you are following me. If you start collecting it, no matter what topic they ask you, be it in ethics, be it in essay, you will be able to tackle it. Understand my point? Just like how you have 26 themes here. Even in your ethics, there are themes. Because of paucity of time, I will not be able to talk about ethics themes. But I am hoping, and in ethics, will you start from your 1993 or 2013? 2013, right? That's the best part of ethics. All of you are following me. But for your essay, please go back to your 1993 itself. All of you are following me. When you are writing your essays, right? This is something called as neuroplasticity. I told you about psychology. Do you remember? Right? There is something called as neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? This talks about the ability of our brain. The ability of our brain to adapt to changes, right, and make itself better. When I was born, do you think I was born with this kind of language skills? No. But we learned it. Am I right or am I wrong? So our brain, even if you're thinking that you're aging, I've had students who come to me and say, sir, I'm so and so years old and I'm forgetting things. Does it happen with you as well? I'm not that old, even though I might look like that. What is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities? Smile. Smile your way from all things in life. So come back. If you read your psychology, you will understand your mind has the capability to change, adapt to changes. This is what we call as neuroplasticity. All of you are following me? When I look at excellence and legacy, many people think as they age, they lose that capability to change, adapt. That's not right. All of you are following me? Look at this one. This is a 2001 essay topic, the pursuit of excellence. In that pursuit of excellence, should I have an approach in life where I am happy with whatever I have, or am I pushing myself? Pushing. Because your brain is built for it. It's just that you need to start pushing yourself. If you yourself don't push, nothing much will happen. Understanding my point? All of you. So come back. If I have to summarize and tell you a few points with respect to what you need to keep in mind, be it in your ethics or even in your essay paper to score very well, right? The first thing, move away from mere knowledge reproduction to critical analysis. Understand my point? Most of the templates that you usually follow, most of the YouTube videos that you usually see, they're based on giving you knowledge. Understand my point? They're not making you think critically. This is where you're losing. When we had this small session, do you remember I spoke about your psychological analysis, your own perspectives? All of you following me? I want that. When I asked him about education philosophy, he quickly told me about Plato. Nothing wrong with that. However, if he has any interesting philosophy from his experience in his life, you can always bring that across in your ethics as well as your essay paper. There was a question which was asked for a student of mine. This was an interview. All of you are following me? Have you heard of Kendriya Vidyalaya? Right. He was a part and parcel of that Kendriya Vidyalaya school. So they asked him, so and so student, what were your experiences in Kendriya Vidyalaya? If you want to improve the Kendriya Vidyalaya setup, how will you improve it? That fellow should have started, sir, my experience was like this. I think we should change this. But here this fellow, what he did, he had prepared on his DAF. People had told him, you have to prepare very well on DAF. Since he was from Kendriya Vidyalaya, he went through some of the observations made by committees, how to improve Kendriya Vidyalaya. And when he went to interview, he said, as per this committee, right? That is when the battle was lost. We want students who are thinking candidates. Understand my point? Real thinking, not your knowledge reproduction. Understanding? Look at the second one. You have to balance facts, examples, and your own perspective effectively. Most of the times when I evaluate essays, that too from freshers, they will be writing one example after another example, after another example, after another example. Have you heard of a guy called as Nelson Mandela? All of you. Now, what did this Nelson Mandela do? Just to justify my point here, what did Nelson Mandela do? Sorry, he fought against apartheid. Am I right? Very good. Listen to me. Many people talk about Nelson Mandela. All of you are following me? Yes. Not at all wrong. You can talk about him. Understanding my point? Let us say there is an essay topic, courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys to success. Now, Nelson Mandela showcased courage. Did he showcase dedication as well? Courage, how 27 years he was in his prison. Dedication, how the moment he got out of prison, what did he do? Did he showcase hatred towards people or did he showcase love? Love, forgiveness. Do you remember that? Now people write his example, let us say for this essay topic, nothing wrong with that. But the problem is this, you're not giving me any insights, you're not giving me your perspective. Why was Nelson Mandela able to let go of that hatred? Why can't I do it? Why can't you do it? Understand my point? You know, most of the people in your life, are they people who are forgiving in nature or are they people who are quite hateful in their nature? Hatred. Hatred is fueling people quite a lot these days. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. What made Nelson Mandela to let go of it? It might be some of the books that he had read. For example, he had read a book called as Meditations, written by an individual called as Marcus Aurelius. Understand my point? He started a committee called as Truth and Reconciliation Committee. All of you are following me. Even if he did not like the person, he did not agree with their ideology, he made them part and parcel of his government. He made them part and parcel of its inclusive setup. All of you are following my point? He led by example. There are multiple arguments or analysis you can bring here. But most of the time, the freshers and some people who do not score well in their essay paper, they are writing example after example after example after example. And you have so many institutions these days, they are giving you essay notes as well. And if you look at these essay notes, here it is filled with examples. Understanding my point? By my 22nd or 23rd class in my ethics classes, I would have given them more than 500 examples. Right? So what happens sometimes, naturally these students, when they have so many examples, they start to write the same things. I scold them. When I give them 500 examples, I would have given them minimum 1000 observations, analysis, arguments. I want you to keep that in mind. All of you are following me? You have to balance facts, examples with your thoughts. Your thoughts. You can quote Plato, Aristotle, any other thinkers you have studied, but I emphasize on what you think. All of you are following me? Look at the other one. Identify and use the tools to think. So today, when I started, I explained the meaning, rethinking. Do you remember that? Yes. Then I also told you no templates. Here I'm not going to give you any templates. Rather, I'm going to give you the tools to think. So what were these tools to think? First and foremost, how to categorize teams from an essay. And I have also taught you how to do it for ethics. And I hope you will do it. What is the second tool that I have taught you? Take these teams and for these teams, gather content. Understand my point? What are the other tools that I have taught you? Be original. Think critically. What are the other tools I have taught you? Improve your foundation. So when I say improve your foundation, do I mean only ethics, integrity and aptitude? No. Whatever ethics and essay mentality you have, you should have the capability to analyze all the subjects and also what is happening in and around you through that point of view. For example, sir, Aristotle, do you like him? How many of you have taken PSIR? Let me not disturb Rajesh. Let me disturb others. Yes, PSIR, 1, 2, 3. So what's your name? Vinay. Very good. I also know a Vinay. All right. So come back. So what do you like about Aristotle? Have you written any mains, Vinay, so far? 2. How many marks have you scored, if you don't mind me asking? In your PSIR, let's start with that. Latest one? 256. Good. What was your essay mark, sir, if I'm allowed to ask you? Latest one. 115. That is good. You have my respect. But there are people who are scoring 140, 160 as well, my friend. All right. So if you are improving your marks by 30, 40 marks in your essay paper alone, right, the chances of you getting into merit list are quite high. Have you given any interviews, sir? Right. Hopefully this time you will be writing. Right. Hopefully you will get through. I will pray for you in my own way. So come back. So tell me, sir, why do you like Aristotle? He has his? Okay. Anything else? He emphasizes more on common people. Okay. Okay. Not a problem. I'll tell you why I like Aristotle. I like Aristotle because he has given this theory on friendship. Understand my point? Friendship. He has said there are 3 types of friendships that you usually find. One is pleasure-based friendship. Understand my point? The other one is utility-based friendship and the third one is character-based friendship. All of you are following me? Now when you look at what is happening in and around us, right? Since yesterday, these 2 buffoons, one is your Donald Trump and the other one is, right. All of you are following me? And you see what is transpiring between them. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. Don't use this term. Okay, this is just for me. I am not writing any mains. All of you are following my point. Now, their friendship, was it based on character or was it based on utility, transaction? It was transactioned. When the transaction was over, neen yaro, nan yaro, hogale. Am I right or am I wrong? That's the thing. And you see this happening. When you look at America and how it treats its allies, do they treat them in a way which justifies character-based friendship or do they treat them as a transactional friendship? Yeah, India knows this. Am I right? When you look at your China and Pakistan, all of you are following me. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Huh? Or friendship badao badao. All right. We saw what happened to their Chinese. 81% of whatever technology or Pakistan has is from China. When you look at our country, are we overly dependent on any country or have we diversified it? Now, this small things, it will be important in your paper 3. All of you are following me. So you should be a little bit careful. Tools to think. This is what I mean. All of you are following my point. Tools to think. Keep that in mind. I've also taught you when you're writing alone, right? Get that essay to me. If I'm free, I will evaluate. If you have any friends who have given mains and scored well, you can give it to them as well. But please have a feedback mechanism that really helps. All of you are following me? That's the thing. Tools to think. I want you to focus on these tools. If you focus on these tools, I genuinely believe that your essay as well as ethics marks will improve to a very large degree. Following me? Look at the other one. Strike a balance between originality and relevance. In the pursuit to be original, right? If you're making your essay and ethics answers very complicated, there is no kind of good marks you will get for that. You have to strike a balance. Okay, if I'm writing 10 points, let 8 points be the same thing what usually other people will write. I don't have any problem. But the 2 points that you write, at least try to be original there. Understand my point? I have taught essay classes for quite a few batches now. If you look at my essay classes or even ethics for that matter, what I have taught for one batch and what I will be teaching for another batch, it will not exactly be the same. It will be different. Because I, as a person, I hate being monotonous in life. Things should be changing. Life will kick irbeku. Okay. So in this way, I am similar to your philosophy of which that Telugu movie is there now. Who was the actor in the Telugu movie Kick? Very nice. These things you all know. All right. So come back. Look at this one. Showcase integrity in thought and practically give an effect to your answers. Many of the times when I evaluate answers, it might be ethics or it might be essay as well. In ethics answer, what I see is this. All right, let us say there is a very beautiful question. Compassion is the basis of all morality. Full stop, discuss. Let us say there is a question like this. 10 marks. My students will write good arguments. Not at all a problem. But how to give effect to these arguments through practical examples, they don't write. And ethics and essay, the moment you start writing, it should be practical. It should not appear as an obsolete exercise. The moment it appears as an obsolete or a Nityananda type of exercise, you will never get good marks, be it ethics or even your essay. Just today in the newspaper I was reading, understand my point? There was this concept called as walls. Okay, this started in Iran. Let us say I have a shed which I am not using. It is not torn in any such way. It can be worn by others. So what people used to do, they used to go to this wall where painting and everything was done. It was accessible to all the public. They used to put those clothes, hang it on that wall, and who required it, they borrowed it. All of you are following me? This is a practical way. All of you are writing, understanding my point? I have seen students who will write, there should be curriculum changes in education. Lay, LKG udganu veltanadana. There should be curriculum changes in education. That is correct. But how will you bring it? What is the practical way you will bring it? That I want. Understanding my point? In our country, science and technology related creative thinking is quite less. So one IAS officer, as far as I remember, in Maharashtra, the practical way he came out was, in his district, he created something called as science parks. Understand my point? So he used to encourage students to go to these science parks, look at all these exhibitions, learn from them. And he also used to conduct tests. That is a practical way of writing. All of you are following me? And when I evaluate, say I've spoken about essay quite a lot. Let me talk about ethics as of now for a few seconds. When I evaluate your ethics answer, this is what is missing. That practicality. It appears as if a very idealistic answer. When it appears as a very idealistic answer, you will not get marks come what may. Do you remember I told you about growth mindset? Now, when I'm saying growth mindset, I should be able to give you an approach to implement this, to inculcate this. If not, it becomes problematic. Understanding my point? That's the thing. Be practical in your answers. Ethics is a practical exercise. It is not a very idealistic or obsolete exercise as some people give effect in their answers. Understand my point? And please remember, ethics and essay, it tests your integrity, it tests your character. So when you're writing your ethics and essay answer, please do not come across as political. You might be political in your personal life. I have no problems. But when you are writing your essay and ethics answer, please have constitutional point of view. Analyze each and every angle and the opinion that you come out with. It should be based on constitutional grounds, not on political grounds. All of you following me? Don't quote the example of Narendra Modi, Rahul Gandhi, and whomsoever politician is there as of now. If you want to quote examples of people such as Lal Bahadur Shastri, all right, or Dr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, like that. Not any politician who is alive as of now. All of you following me? So please come back. Look at the last one. Cultivate a thinking mindset. Do not get addicted to that mere knowledge reproduction thinking mindset. All right. Take a theme. What are the interesting questions you can ask with respect to this theme? Think. Dreams that should not let India sleep. Do you remember this essay topic? Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have a opposite team. Right? So when I'm playing cricket, let us say I'm playing IPL. Right? Now there are two types of championships. Am I right? In IPL itself. The one is what we won, the cup and everything. And there is also something called as Fair Play Award. Now do we care about Fair Play Award? No one cares. Am I right or am I wrong? It will be there. Right? Every other match they will showcase Fair Play Award where the RCB is there, where your Gujarat Titans, everyone is there, but we don't care about it. Let us say I'm playing a game with her. She is my opposite team. Now the game that we both are playing, it will benefit both of us provided she and we play our game based on certain rules and regulations, certain codes. Am I right? But what if she starts playing in an unfair manner? Do you think that is going to help? No. Think like this. Thinking is like a game. Thinking is like a game. It does not begin until you have a opposite team. Understanding my point? In life, can I equate life and game to be the same? Not necessarily. If I'm playing your video games and everything, if I'm dying there, I can respawn. But here in life, is it exactly the same thing? No. In your games and everything, you have an empire. In life, you might have an umpire, but that umpire might not be that strong enough. Am I right or am I wrong? Like this. Understanding my point? So my advice to you, take a theme, have an idea of all the topics that I've asked. When you're making notes for that, when you're brainstorming in this thinking mindset, the original thoughts that you come out with and the simple way you present your thoughts and express what is there in your mind, that is what will get you minimum of 140 in essay. I'm not going to say 120. I want 140. All of you are following me? Both in your essay and ethics paper, I want 140. So my friend over here, Vijay, he told me he scored 115, 140. How many marks is an increase? 25. Yeah, if my math is correct, 25, right? 25 per paper. Let us say he is able to do the same thing in his ethics paper as well. Sir, if you don't mind, how much did you score in your ethics, sir? Sorry? 80. Not good enough, sir. Right? I had a OJP batch student. All right. This time around, he scored around 134. Let us say next time Vijay scores 134. 34 plus 20. It's an increase of 54 marks. 54 plus 25. Here itself, your probability of getting into the interview is high. And not just that, if you have scored well in these papers, including your optional, right? The probability of you getting a rank is also very high, no matter how your interview goes. Am I right or am I wrong? Play the game and play smart. Understand my point? Play bold as well. Okay, RCB facts alone now. Play bold as well. Cultivate a thinking mindset. This is what I mean. All of you are following me? I told you in the class, in the first part of this class, I'm not going to give you any templates. Because I feel as a teacher, if I give you template, it is not going to help you so much. I've just given you the tools. And it is up to you now to utilize those tools. All of you are following me? Come back. All right? Look at these things. When someone asks me, Umesh, what is your philosophy for education? All right? I know I'm teaching for a competitive examination here. Most of the time, the people want to just get marks and get out of this cycle. Nothing wrong. But for me, this is not just a competitive examination. I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing. Understand my point? I find some meaning. I find some purpose here. So if you ask me, look at the first quote. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Lighting of a fire. This is from a guy called as Yeats. He was an author that I read. I still read about him. Yeats. So here that pail means bucket. Understand my point? Education is not putting more water into the bucket. Rather, it is lightning of a fire. If you read your Rig Veda, they have said in Rig Veda, an ignorant mind will continue to be ignorant until the flame of knowledge is ignited in him, enkindled in him. All of you are following me? Look at the second one. The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open mind. That is why whatever classes I have handled for whatever OGP students, I question you so much because I don't want your mind to be empty. I want you to question things, right? Like Socrates wanted. This is given by your Malcolm Forbes. Have you heard of Forbes magazine? Look at the third one. You cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him find it within himself. This is from your Galileo, right? I cannot teach you, right? I cannot teach you anything as such, but rather I can help you, support you to find it within yourself. All right. I want my students who are giving this examination to have such brute confidence that they think they will be the toppers. Understand my point? That's the thing. All of you are following me? Look at the last one. Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. This is from an anthropologist. How many of you have taken anthropology as your optional subject? Raise your hand, please. There will be some, right? Tony, have you heard of Margaret Mead? Yes. This is her quote. Understand my point? Margaret Mead. All of you are following me? Now, if you know, Insights has a program called as Intensive Bridge Course. So, if you have taken GS 1, 2, 3, 4, you will be getting essay classes for free there. And in those essay classes, I will be taking a good chunk of those classes. All of you are following me? Where I will be discussing not based on your philosophical and technical point of view, rather I will be discussing from a thematic point of view. Each and every theme will be taken and we will be discussing it in detail. In case if you don't want to take 1, 2, 3, 4 approach, all right, and you just want to take your ethics as a separate package, that is also available. In case if you want to just take essay package, that is also available. All right. So your essay classes, if you have taken just essay package, it will start from Monday. It will be there only once a week. You will have 6 to 7 hours of classes where we will be discussing all the themes, 26 themes. Do you remember that? And all the topics which have been asked under these themes starting from 1993 till 2024. What kind of notes you require, how to develop the thinking mindset with respect to this, we will be doing that. All of you are following me? And over and above, when I was watching all these open sessions, right, from other institutions as well, what I realized was, I can say develop a thinking mindset, but to develop it is quite difficult. So whomsoever has taken ethics or essay, what I have come out with is, there are two initiatives. One is called as Essay/Ethics Club. The other one is called as Essay/Ethics Journal. Understand my point? Here I will be teaching you in detail how to develop that originality as well as part of your club as well as journaling activities. Understanding my point? If you have any questions, feel free to ask, not at all a problem. Remember, what does Socrates spoke about? To just observe everything or question. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I think, yeah, go ahead. We are coming up around 2 hours. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Any questions as such? How many of you have given mains here prior to this one upcoming one? 1, 2, I know. 3, okay, sir. I've seen you in my classes. You right? Blue color t-shirt. What's your name? Not you, sir. Not you. Yes. Go ahead. You have given mains before, right? How much did you score in your ethics and essay? 110. Good, but still not enough. Ethics, 90. Average marks, but you can get better, much, much better. All right, madam, I have seen you as well. Tell me, madam. 86. Not good enough. Next, essay, 90. Still not good enough. All right. You know this by this time around. Ethics and essay, the way UPSC is approaching, it is no longer the same. Am I right? It is changing. So keeping these changes in mind, what I think is necessary, I have shared with you. Did this open session help you in a way? Pakka RCB mein laane? Okay. Not at all a problem. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And in case, all right, if you want to get in touch with me, right, you can note down my Telegram ID. It is UMESH 1991-01. All right. That's my Telegram ID. You can get in touch with me and then we can have further discussions on your ethics as well as SC. All right. Any questions? Once more. Madam, did you have any question? No. Vinay in the blue color t-shirt. Vinay. Do you have any questions? Yes, sir. I remember seeing you, right? Ethics classes as far as I remember. But you did not stick with ethics classes, you changed. Did you give your other examinations or you gave? How did it go about? Not well. It's okay. Live and learn. All right. My friend at the last. Any questions as such, sir? No. We'll meet tomorrow. For which class? Ethics class. All right. So you know very well, if I have taught you, your image will be stuck in my mind. All right. And whomsoever is writing mains this time around, please make use of this opportunity and score as good as possible in this mains. In case if you're writing next time around, all right, I hope you get through your mains, give interviews and get into merit list as well. All of you are following me, right? Thanks for your time. All right. Thank you.